Hello, thank you for stopping by my kitchen. You are very, very welcome as always. Today I am making brownies. I made brownies on my channel about a year ago. It was when my son was at uni and I made them from a Betty Crocker, a box of Betty Crocker cake mix, brownie mix, just to make it easier really, because we didn't have all the ingredients there. This has a lot more ingredients. So it's pecan and chocolate chip brownies today, and from scratch this time. So the first thing I've done is lined my tin, and because the brownies are made with oil, I oil the tin and then I've put the greaseproof or parchment paper on the top and just oiled a little bit on the top too. And this is a 28 centimetre by 18 centimetre tin, but you can also do them in a square tin. So as usual, we need to put our oven on first. So that's 180 Celsius, that's 170 if you've got a fan oven. And I'll just get these right for you. 350 if you are Fahrenheit, or that's gas mark 4. So the first thing we need to do is melt our chocolate. So I'm going to have a small pan and a small bowl. And I'm going to pour a little bit of boiling water into the pan, making sure the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water. That's fine, and I'll just put that on to keep it nice and warm. Then I'm going to put in 5 ounces or 150 grams of plain chocolates. That's dark chocolate, and that's just going to melt. So we'll just leave that to melt while we carry on with the rest of the brownies. So while that chocolate's melting, I'm going to put into my bowl 120 millilitres of oil. And I've got rapeseed oil today, but it can be vegetable oil or sunflower oil. Just an oil that hasn't got a flavour really. Followed by 2 eggs and 7.5 ounces or 115 grams of soft brown sugar. And yes, that is 7.5 ounces. I've had a nightmare weighing these out today. So my digital scales have broken and I've been weighing out on these old-fashioned scales here. Now, I've never even thought in the recipe, and I've been doing this recipe for a couple of years now since I've had my digital scales. So 7.5 ounces, 7.5 ounces on digital scales is no problem. But try weighing it out on an old-fashioned scale. It's been driving me crazy. And it's not the only one in this recipe that is an ounce. So I wish I knew where this recipe was from so I knew who to blame. But it's one I got out of a magazine a long time ago. And I can't even remember which magazine. You know, you see a recipe and you make a photocopy. Don't know which magazine it was. Anyway, we'll give this all a stir, a whisk up. Then we want to add to that 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So then we just pour all this lovely chocolate into the mixture. And give it a mix up. Next to go in is 2.5 ounces of self-raising flour. Yes, 2.5, another half, and that's 65 grams. I'll just give those a sieve. And then into this goes 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And just mix all those in too. You can see it's going to be very, very chocolatey. These brownies are quite a rich brownie. They're not cakey like the Betty Crocker ones. You wouldn't want a great big piece. They're more like, they're very similar, I don't know if you've ever tried them, but the Thornton's ones, the Thornton's brownies, we used to get them from Waitrose. I haven't seen them for a long time. Kind of in between a brownie and a chocolate, really. They're delicious, but very rich. As you can see, with all this chocolate in there. There, once that's nearly mixed in, we're going to add just 1 bag of milk chocolate chips. These are 100 grams, and they go straight in there, followed by 3 ounces or 75 grams of chopped pecans. And I toasted these pecans this morning and just gave them a chop up. So to toast them, you just put them on in the oven for 150 for about 10 minutes. And as always, just check down to the bottom of the bowl to make sure there's no flour. I'll get a spoon back and check that there's no flour on here either. See, I'm knocking some off as I'm checking it. Get all that in there. And that was only the chocolate spoon I was using there. I'll be licking that bowl out later. Okay, I'm all covered now. Look at that. Never mind. There, that's all mixed up. Perfect. So we just need to bring back the tin we prepared earlier. Something to scrape the bowl out with. And just pour all the mixture into the tin. Just push it out to the sides and try and level it all off in the tin. And that will go into the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. So that's 35 minutes my brownies have had, and they'll be done. Look at those. So the brownies will now stay in the tin until they're totally cool. So a good few hours have passed and the brownies are totally cool now. So I'm just going to lift them out the tin and cut them up. So just time for the taste test. It's so very chocolatey. The nuts give it a crunch. It's like eating nutty chocolate. I've probably got chocolate all around my mouth. I do apologise. That's why I cut it rather than taking a big bite. I don't want to talk to you afterwards with all chocolate in my teeth. Keep my mouth covered. And the nuts. Oh, it's delicious though. You might want to cut it into smaller portions. After saying at the beginning of the video, you only want small portions. Let me show you. So I've cut it in half and then cut the half into 6. I probably need cutting again. It's very, very rich. It's kind of in between a cakey, a brownie and a chocolate really, like a sweet chocolate. Oh, it's so delicious, but very, very, very rich. Very, very, very delicious. So thank you once again for stopping by my kitchen. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, give it the usual thumbs up, and I hope to see you again next time.